Good morning, and welcome to the Financial Optimist. And today I want to share with you how I'm able to live on less than $1,000 per month. That's right, I spend only a few $100s per month every month. Now, for the record, I do live in the United States, which is the 13th most expensive country on the planet, and I also live in the state of Florida. Now, with that said, there's many things you can do in all 50 states to lower your cost of living, and of course, there's things you can do to raise it as well. So, I want to share with you what the average cost of living is and how I'm able to beat the averages by a long shot. Let's dive right into it. So here we have a news article from Ramsey Solutions, and it says here a single household person spends an average of $4,641 on monthly expenses. But for a married couple with no kids, it's $7,390. So we see how it almost doubles, but not quite. That's because when you're living with someone else who also has a job, you can share a few expenses. Maybe you rent the same apartment. You share some of the food in the fridge. You can amateurize out some of your expenses by living with someone like that, but it still is more expensive. Now, when it comes to a family of four, 8,400 to nearly 10,000 per month. I mean, $10,000 a month, that's 120,000 bucks a year just to survive with a couple of kids. I know I've heard there's some zip codes out in California where you're considered living below the poverty line if you only make 100,000 a year. That's probably where this is, somewhere in Los Angeles or California somewhere. So you look at that and you go, wow, that's a lot of money. And so you go, okay, what exactly is all this money being spent on? Well, here I'm going to go ahead and talk about the individual income because I am a household of one, so this is most comparable to my situation. Housing, about $1,700 per month is the average cost of housing. So whether you're renting a one-bedroom apartment or getting a mortgage on a small house, almost $2,000 a month just to have a roof over your head. That's way too much. Now for me, like I've said before, I own this house behind me here, and I'll go over in a few minutes how I was able to make that happen, how I was able to become a homeowner. Even though I'm a very young man, I'm able to actually live in a house I own free and clear without a mortgage. I'm really excited for that, and I want to teach you how to do it too. But I'll get to that towards the end of the video. So here for transportation, 800 bucks a month, 756. Basically, that's a car payment. Like the average car payment's over $700 a month now. And me, I have a fully paid off car. I paid cash for the car. And again, I can show you how I did that as well. It's actually pretty simple. And so if you don't have a car payment, you don't pay this. Now, my gasoline bill every month is between $50 to $80 a month, so I spend some money on gas, but not too bad. My car insurance, it's around $55-ish per month, so again, not too bad for that. So my transportation expenses are overall fairly minimal. Healthcare, $367 per month. Now, I do have employer-sponsored health insurance, so I pay about $100 a month for my health insurance. And whenever I go to the doctor's office, they charge like $100, out of pocket just to go visit. So overall, I pay substantially less in healthcare than the average American does. Food. This one's kind of surprising. $572. I usually spend between $200 to $300 per month on food. That includes restaurants, fast food, grocery stores, everything. I usually spend less than $300. Last month I spent about $280 on food, so overall very affordable. But that's half the national average. So I'm thinking where is everyone shopping at? Is everyone going to the expensive grocery? I shop at Walmart and Aldi, the dollar store, the discount places. You can save a lot of money. Then of course with proper meal planning you can save money as well because certain foods are more expensive than others. Like, for example, last week I was eating a couple of steaks, $7 a pound. This week I decided to get some pork. It was about $4 a pound, so almost half as cheap as the steak, but it's still meat, So I got that for this week, and then next week I might get some steaks again. I get one or two steaks a week usually. If it's $7 a pound, it's only a few bucks here and there. And, I don't eat steak every day, of course, but, I'll eat, with sandwiches. Buying a loaf of bread is a couple bucks. Buying a pack of cheese, a few dollars. A pack of lunch meat, a few dollars. So for $2, $3, make yourself a nice big sandwich, and that fills you up for a while. So overall, I eat simple meals which are fairly affordable, and I shop at the affordable grocery stores, do proper meal planning. I can definitely save hundreds a month on food. Utilities, $405 a month. I pay approximately $250 a month, and that's been over the summertime when my electric bill is high. As we're moving into the fall, my electric bill should start to decrease, but overall, $250 a month for all my utilities combined is, a bit more than I would like, but overall, it's not too bad. Entertainment, $288 a month. Now, I've never spent nearly this much on entertainment. Last month, I think I spent $45 on entertainment for the whole month, or maybe $35. It was not a whole lot of money. And so, obviously, I like to hang out with my friends a couple times here and there, and spend a little money, but I don't spend hundreds per month, just a few dollars here and there. Apparel and services. I haven't bought any new clothing in about 3 years now. The shorts I'm wearing now, I bought about 3.5 years ago. And this shirt here I got for free. It's for the Armed Services Blood Program. Back when I was in the military, I donated some blood. They gave me a free t-shirt, and here I am all these years later. I'm still wearing the same shirt I got for free. And so, clothing doesn't have to be expensive. Just, keep on wearing the same clothes until they wear out. If you're someone that has a wardrobe full of clothes that are barely used, you're wasting money. If you're someone that actually wears out your clothing before you throw them away, well then you're having money that's well spent. So I spent nothing on apparel every month. I mean, occasionally I'll buy a little something here and there, but not much. Education, 111 a month. I'm assuming it's probably student loan payments. Of course, for me, when I was going to college, I saved up cash before going to school, so I paid cash for both my degrees. I don't have any student loans. But if you're only paying 111 a month on student loans, you're not really going to pay them off that fast. You're going to probably pay a bit more if you want to pay them off early. So obviously, if you're someone that either doesn't go to college to save money, or if you save up the money first before you go, either way that can work to pay off your schooling without having any loans. Because education is one of those things that just keeps on adding up over the years. Miscellaneous, 84 bucks a month. Now, in my miscellaneous category, I had over $100 last month. Obviously, what I define as miscellaneous, what they define, are probably two different definitions, but that's fine. The overall song is not too bad. You see, in all these categories, I only have one category where I personally spend more than the average American is. All these other categories, I'm spending a lot less. Like housing, I spend nothing because I already have this house fully paid off. And so that's huge right there. And so another way to look at this is the total lifetime spending. The average American spends $3.3 million over their lifetime. So if you break it down, here you'll notice a few things. Again, you'll notice housing is by far the number one. It's the number one for the monthly budget, and it's also number one for total lifetime expenses. $1.5 million on housing over your entire lifetime. So whether you're renting or you're paying on a mortgage, it's literally going to eat up about half of your total lifetime earnings. And car is about $500,000. Now my car, like my first car, I paid $3,000 for it. I drove it for 10 years, and then I sold it for $2,000. So if you want to buy an affordable used car, you can definitely save a lot of money. And, if you're someone that wants to get a brand new car every couple of years, $50,000 for a new car, that's how you get to $500,000. Because if you say, get a brand new car for $50,000, you get a new car every, 5 or 10 years, you have 10 new cars over your lifespan, that's how you get to $500,000 over lifespan of cars, which is way too much. I mean, a car is just a basic tool. It gets you to work, gets you to the grocery store, that's all it does. You don't have to spend lots on cars. Just get a used car. The only time to get a brand new car is if you're like an actual millionaire and you have a bunch of money, then by all means get yourself a new car. But if you're an ordinary working class American making less than $100,000 per year, you have to get a used car every time. There's no excuse to buy a brand new car. And my personal opinion is that, the price of the car you buy should be about 10 to 20% of your annual income. So let's say you make $50,000 per year, your car should be somewhere between $2,500 to $5,000. If you make $100,000 per year, your car should cost you somewhere between $10,000 to $20,000. That way, it's quite reasonable. You can save up the money, you can pay cash for it, and you don't have any loans on it, and you can still have a decent car to drive. Or if you're someone that wants to make $100,000 a year and then go buy a $3,000 car and just put all the money into savings, you certainly can. So you can save a lot of money on cars. Children, I think we have about 1.6 children per family. It's about $300,000 per child, so that lines up there. So people say they can't afford children. Well, I mean, it's expensive. Health insurance, $300,000. Obviously it's gone up a lot the past 20 years here. So that's one of those things where, if you work with the right company, they can offer good health insurance. But if you're just purchasing your own plan in the open market, that can be huge. Retirement, that's more of an investment than an expense per se. Renovations, $200,000. So $1.5 million for housing, but another $200,000 for renovations. So it's actually more like $1.7 million for housing when you take that into account. So that's, again, housing is by far the biggest expense. Now vacations, $100,000, furniture, $60,000, education, a bachelor's degree is about $40,000, wedding, $34,000. So you look at these expenses, you go, it adds up. Like furniture doesn't have to cost that much. You get used furniture. Education, again, bachelor's degrees are optional these days. You don't have to go get one. You can save money there. Wedding, I don't get why people put that kind of money into a wedding. It's like, yeah, it's a special day or whatever, but you don't got to spend that kind of money. It's not like you're an actual princess. You're just an ordinary middle-class American. Don't spend that kind of money. So you look at total lifetime expenses, you realize there's all kinds of ways to save money in each and every category, and that's how we live on less than $1,000 a month. But of course, the main one here is housing. Half of your total lifetime income goes towards housing. That's the big part. So years ago, when I was wanting to live this lifestyle of less than $1,000 per month, I came to the inevitable conclusion. The only way to make that happen is to fully own a house that has no mortgage. Once the housing is purchased, you essentially live here rent-free. And so I made a plan years ago to buy a house, and I explained my plan in this video here. It's how to buy the house for a price of a pair of cars. And this brand new car is about $50,000 a piece. You can buy a house for $100,000. This house behind me here, I paid $100,000 for this house. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath house. And yes, it is possible to find affordable real estate in the U.S. And the way to do that is to move from the big cities towards the small cities. If you're in a big city, you're not going to find cheap real estate. If you move away towards a small city, you find a lot cheaper real estate. Now, yes, incomes can be lower, especially if you're moving to another state with a lower cost of living. But even if wages are lower, but housing is substantially lower, it's still worth it. So let's say, for example, you live in the big city, you're making $25 an hour, but houses are 500,000. You move to a small city, wages are down to 20 an hour, so you're losing about 20% of your income, but houses are only, $200,000. It's less than half. So you're talking, a more than 50% drop in housing, but a 20% drop in income. So overall, living in a small to medium-sized town really is where it's at for affordable real estate. You can still get an okay paying job and a very affordable house. If you're staying in the big city, you just got to make more money. And so that's how you find real estate. Here in this example, I went through Panama City, Florida, just a random city I picked, and was shopping for houses. And I show you my strategy for how to shop. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to know how to buy a house for $100,000. And this isn't just some theory about something you could do. This is what I've actually done, because I actually bought a house for $100,000, and this is the actual strategy I used to make it happen. And on top of that, I also do share my monthly expenses every month with my audience. I do a breakdown video showing where my expenses go. Like here for last month, I spent about $790. So I got $280 for food, $56 for fuel, $36 for entertainment, $146 for medical, about $95 for utilities, $175 for just other miscellaneous. And that's how much I actually spent last month. So yes, it can be very, very affordable in the US if you live the right kind of lifestyle. And that's the key, is you have to ask, what can I do for my money, and not what can my money do for me? Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, drop a little in the comment section. I'd love to help you out. Otherwise, have a great day.